All right, so believe it or not, starting to get to a place that's really close to a tipping point on this drawing, where all of a sudden how to finish it becomes more and more obvious. That I look at it and I go, oh, okay, here's what I need to do on this thing. Let me show you what I've done since the last video, and that is that I found this one more intermediate plane and drew another salami slice in there. That salami slice is at a pivotal point where this thing comes up and bends over and changes directions, okay? That's important for my object, might not be important for your object. But the thing that applies to both of our objects is that this needs to have as many salami slices as it needs to have in order for me to get it done. I also put one more salami slice back here towards the very back. Now here's the deal. If I've done everything right, these salami slices ought to line up and still go off to my vanishing point and look good. So, check that out. If I haven't done it right, something's going to be screwy there. But these look pretty good. The other thing is since that's my pivotal point, I'm going to go ahead and connect these two. And I'm going to connect these two. You can see this starts to establish these salami slices are what are establishing the outside contour of my object. Fair enough? Those lining up, that's the outside of my light. Now I got a lot of scaffolding in here. I got too much scaffolding. It's kind of a mess. Now do I have to erase all the scaffolding and turn this into a crispy clean, no caffeine kind of a thing where I don't see any of that stuff? Not necessarily. Sometimes having some of that scaffolding in there can, like reveal your process. So I think that's interesting. The other thing, it can actually make the drawing look better. The other thing that starts to happen at this point is I need to look at the object increasingly. Like, what does this thing do back here? Because I've got this thing cutting around here, and I've got this meeting, one side is meeting another side. So that curves down here this way. That's got to make sense. This is actually a function of these, right? And a function of the back of this thing. Now I got to look at this. What does that do? Well, it kind of comes down here and heads that way. If I'm looking at this thing, there's more of this down here than I might think. I might come back to my original profile and see where does that thing come out there. It comes out to, it comes down at least that far. So this bottom has got to come down and meet that. In this way, my object becomes a mix of what I'm looking at, or the perceptual stuff, and the stuff that I've been building this whole time, which is the conceptual stuff, right? Perceptual, it's all perceptual. And this is, so far, been all conceptual, and now what I need to do is I need to get those two talking to each other. I'm going to start to erase all of the noise here. I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to come back and talk with you guys.